Trans Am Southern Tour for 2018 continues this week as we head back to Florida for round 3 from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Florida this week, but then a quick break before heading for a summer in the north and finishing off the season back in Florida at the famous Daytona International Speedway. We start this week with TA and TA3. With 2 rounds gone, Ernie Francis Jr. is out on top, 3 points ahead of Chris Dyson on 61. And then Simon Gregg still 3rd place, David Pinterick in 4th. Once again, David will be driving the 57 Tried Racing Cadillac CTS-V.
Homestead's a great track. High speed, but technical in sections. You got to get things done in qualifying because you don't want to give up positions. It's going to be hard to pass because they're all good cars. But that's what racing's all about. If this was easy, anybody can do it.
In the TA3 chase for the Trigon Trophy, it's Mark Bowden who leads the way by 10 points ahead of Tim Kesman in 2nd. Randy Kingsland, though, is creeping up and now has 53 points. One of the big stories for TA3 this weekend, the arrival of Shane Lewis of TA2 fame taking on TA3.
The driver that can put together the cleanest laps of this racetrack all the way together, they're the one that's going to be on the podium. And I'm hoping with my local knowledge and being here so many times, and I've got a pretty good understanding of the racetrack, that I'll be one of them.
The track at Homestead-Miami is a 10-turn roval, a modified road course of 2.27 miles with a fantastic long run around the oval section to complete the lap. No surprise that Ernie Francis Jr. was on pole ahead of Lawrence Loshak looking for his first win of the year, Chris Dyson on row 2 with RJ Lopez, then Simon Gregg and Amy Ruman on row 3. Traditional rolling start off the banking here at Homestead, and away went Ernie Francis Jr., challenged heavily by Loshak. Loshak just not able to pull it off, and into the lead went Ernie Francis Jr. with Loshak right there with him. Meanwhile, in TA3, a great start from Shane Lewis, making his debut here at Homestead in TA3, and with plenty of clean air ahead of him to put in the miles. The battle of the day had to be RJ Lopez in the number 6 and Chris Dyson in the number 20 just behind as they swap places and paint throughout the 102-mile, 45-lap race. Simon Gregg in the 59 brought out the safety car after his Corvette overheated after 17 laps. The field bunches up behind Francis Jr., but he wasn't worried, racing at home here in Florida at a track he knows like the back of his hand. At the restart, once again, RJ Lopez and Dyson going at it. Dyson just ahead as they headed to the hairpin, but then Lopez turns Dyson around, flames fly. Lopez given a penalty, but both men go back down the field. Meanwhile, in TA3, it was packed up again behind Shane Lewis, Sebastian Carrazzo, and championship contender Randy Kingsland. In the end, though, it was plain sailing for Ernie Francis Jr. as he took the checkered flag and his 2nd win in Florida in the season in the Ford Mustang to continue his championship quest. After the disaster in Atlanta, Lawrence Loshak is back on the podium in 2nd, and Amy Ruman gets her first podium of the season in 3rd. Let's hear from our winner.
We just tried to run the same lap time over and over. We knew what the guys behind us were running, and we just maintained half a second faster than them every lap, and it kind of just grew a gap over time. And that's kind of what we used last year to win so many races, and going to try and use it again this year.
In the chase for the Trigon Trophy in TA, Ernie Francis Jr. now has 99 points ahead of Chris Dyson with 83. David Pinterick has 70 points in 3rd, with Lawrence Loshak coming up the board into 4th place. TA3, racing at home, Shane Lewis took the checkered flag in his first outing in TA3, ahead of Sebastian Carrazzo in 2nd, David Rishi 3rd, Aline Cipriani in 4th place, and Randy Kingsland in 5th.
This is my very first TA3 race I've run. I have won a TA2 race, so I guess the next step is TA1, right? We got to win one of those. I'd like to be the only driver that's ever done that in Trans Am, which would be very cool, but no, both of them are important. You know, no matter what happens this afternoon in the TA2 race, the pole is a win to me for the team.
Busy weekend then for Shane Lewis, and he'll need a new clean suit for TA2. In the championship, Randy Kingsland now leads with 78 points ahead of Dave Ricci in second. Mark Bowden, missing this weekend, dropping to third. On then to the TA2 exclusive muscle car challenge powered by AEM. And in the championship, it's Brazilian Rafa Matos leading the way with 64 points in the chase for the Dragon Trophy. Tony Bufamonte in second place on 52, and Mark Miller in third with 48. Florida native Jordan Butt starts his 17th Trans Am start on number 80 DonateLive.net Ford Mustang.
It's my home track. We came off the trailer really fast. We kind of know where to be on setup-wise. You know, we've got guys like Rafa Matos, Scott Lagacy. It really makes it a lot more fun to come out and compete with the best of the best.
Youngster Alan Lawless is making his debut this weekend, usually a short track driver.
The car is a lot different from what I'm used to driving with the circle tracks. Mostly having to do with shifting and the braking zones. It's going to be really hard during the race. My expectations is really just to finish, but for me, my goal is top 10.
And 10 out of 10 for the ever-popular Fan Walk. We see Shane Lewis in pole position ahead of Rafa Matos, then it's Barcelli and Tuamala, the Finn, on row 2 making his debut, and likewise Jan Halen, also making his debut and out-qualifying Tony Bufamonte. Green flag waves then. Can Rafa Matos get the jump from the start? And he certainly looks as though he might. And it is Matos who takes the lead into the infield for the first time. Looking back, a brilliant start by the championship leader from Brazil, getting ahead of poleman Shane Lewis. Mid-race caution, though, would slow things down after 57 Morris Hull stalled on the banking after coming together with Alan Lawless. At the restart, the number 88, Rafa Matos, would lead them away. Everybody jostling for position, and a spin from Tom Sheehan. That also sent Mark Miller wide and dropped him down a few places. Out of the dust, Sheehan does get his Camaro going again, but right at the back now. On board now with third place, Jan Halen, as he challenges Shane Lewis in the closing stages. The battle for third place. Lewis holds on. Good race, though, by Rafa Matos again. Unperturbed, even though under big pressure from Shane Lewis looking for his second win of the day. Meanwhile, Mark Miller in the Dodge Challenger did get back and going, but only finished in 14th. Not a good weekend for the man chasing the championship. And Rafa Matos crosses the line and takes the checkered flag, his second win in Trans Am. Jan Halen takes second on his debut, and Jordan Butt, the youngster from Florida, takes third overall. And Rafa Matos increases his lead in the championship.
I tried to manage my tires as best as I could, and I pulled a gap, and I managed that gap, and the yellow came, we lost the gap, and after the restart I was a little bit concerned, but I knew we had a very strong car. You know, we bring a second win in a row, a big boost for our championship. I feel a lot confident now.
And in the chase for the Dragon Trophy, Rafa Matos now has 98 points. Tony Bufamonte stays second with 69, but only 2 now ahead of Shane Lewis in third. Great weekend once again from Homestead-Miami, and more to come from this fantastic 2018 season. I'm Jonathan Green. We'll see you next time on Trans Am, presented by Pirelli.